bottom there, I see we've got Christmas trees on there. Is that accurate still?
You know, let me look at the, look it up for you.
Okay. And another area I would just note would be, I know based on our conversation the other day, on page 25, it looks like, there seems to be a lot of data there for the tax appeals that we were talking about.
Yes.
If you just note that based on our discussions.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions on the bill list? Okay, I think we have about another minute before we can start. Can everyone hear us out there? Are you fine?
Is all working?
Yes.
Okay, I think we can get started. It's 7:30. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Council of the Township of Montclair. Proper notice has been given to the respective media outlets and posted on the bulletin board as required. Roll call, please.
Thank you. Mayor Jackson,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Russo,
Present.
Councilor McMahon,
Present.
Councilor Hurlock,
Present.
Councilor Schlager,
Here.
Councilor Spiller,
Present.
Councilor Vasquez, I'm not finished, one moment, Councilor Vasquez.
Present.
Thank you.
Now let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight's meeting is being streamed live on Ustream at http:/REO/RE0, I think that is. As you can tell, we're not in the municipal building this evening. We're being hosted by our friends at Montclair State, and I'd like to invite Jack Shannon to come up and give us a few words.
Good evening. On behalf of President Cole, the Board of Trustees, and the entire Montclair State community, I would like to welcome you, Mayor Jackson, members of council, and our Montclair neighbors this evening to the beautiful Castor Theater. Montclair State takes great pride in our over 105-year-old history of delivering bold educational innovations and providing vital services to the citizens of New Jersey, including a wide and deep array of programs and benefits that annually flow from the university to our host community of Montclair, generating significant economic, educational, and community service benefits to the township. In regards to economic benefits, 213 full-time and 137 part-time university employees currently reside right here in Montclair. They are family, friends, and neighbors. When their over $20 million in annual salaries are combined with our other expenditures and purchases made here in Montclair, the university directly contributed nearly $26 million to the township's economy just this past year alone. In regards to educational benefits, an average of 21 freshmen from Montclair enroll at the university each year, and an average of another 47 township residents who attended other institutions initially annually transfer to Montclair State. In addition, our Gifted and Talented program for grades K through 12 has served over 600 students from Montclair and over 100 high-achieving high school students who wanted to jumpstart their college education by enrolling in undergraduate courses have done so through our High Jump program here on campus. Each summer, the Western Scholars Program serves as many as 48 talented seniors from Montclair High School who have demonstrated high potential for achievement in science, mathematics, and related fields. Through our College of Education and Human Services and our Information Technology Division, we annually provide hundreds of hours of support for teachers and administrators from Montclair schools through various professional development programs, fellowships and grants, and technology resources. We at Montclair State are especially proud of our activities at the Bradford University Magnet Elementary School and the Mount Hebron STEM University Middle School, each of which closely collaborates with the university. Finally, our community service activities and our service learning projects in Montclair annually generate over 34,000 hours of community service, ranging from the Bullock School's Literacy Education Assistance Program to the Union Congregational Church's Side Door Program for middle school students. Our faculty and our students provide support for a wide array of educational and social programming in our community. While our neighbors gain a great deal from these programs, we believe that our students and faculty gain as much, if not even more, from these activities. If you would like to know more about these and the many other things we are doing here in Montclair, our home community, I would encourage you to please check out the university website at www.montclair.edu. Once again, Mr. Mayor and members of council, I want to welcome you to our campus, and I thank you again for meeting here this evening, and I hope that we will be able to make this a regular occurrence going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. And certainly want to thank the university, Jack and Julie, Dr. Cole, of course, and the staff here from the theater helping us out. We're trying to bring government to all parts of our community, and I'm sure we'll have meetings in other locales in Montclair as well in the future. But certainly just really want to thank you for being such gracious hosts, and we do indeed hope that we can perhaps do this again. Thank you very much. Okay, we have 3 proclamations for young men who are going to become Eagle Scouts for in Troop 12. Austin Williams, Gabriel Umar, and Tate Bowers, they're going to receive their Eagles this Saturday, and we'll be presenting the proclamations at St. James Church at 7 o'clock. We'll be presenting those young men with their proclamations and when they receive their Eagles. And I so move the adoption of the proclamation.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of minutes. There have been presented to us, there are actually another set of minutes that we received that aren't listed here. There have been presented to us the minutes of May 28 and June 11, 2013. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes? If not, a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next section of our meeting is public comment. We'd like for anyone who wishes to address the council on any matter to come forward and give your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes. We have a fairly long agenda tonight. I've been heretofore, I've been fairly, the council, with the council's permission, obviously, been fairly liberal with the time. So I would appreciate it if you could limit your comments as close as you can to the 3 minutes. Does anyone please come up and give your name and address? We'll be happy to hear from you.
Good evening, Marcellus. I'm sorry.
Good evening.
Sorry. My name is Marcella Simaderis. I live at 15 Mountain View Place. I am a little overwhelmed and I don't know where to begin, but I think it's the priority should be probably to Robert Rights because I'm a little confused. because I think I've been violated at the Board of Education meetings. Last week, they cut my mic off. They didn't like what I was saying. It wasn't inappropriate. It was actually factual. And then last night, they told me, I had questions with regards to Dr. McCormick's strategic plan, specifically just using her words out of her plan, and she explained that there would be no dialogue. So I'm not sure if anybody on the board is an expert on Robert's rights, but let me just start by saying, am I allowed to ask questions? Yes, I'm allowed to ask questions.
I don't think it's appropriate for us here to give an opinion on or to discuss the procedures of the Board of Education.
Do you-
We can certainly hear, you have the right to ask questions and to be answered, but I don't think it's appropriate at this point for us to comment on what occurred at that meeting.
Okay. Well, I'm very disappointed in the way the Board of Education totally ignored the community's outcry for a deferment on the quarterly assessments. I've never really been involved in the Board of Education. I work in Paterson, New Jersey, and I came to Montclair specifically for the education because I did my student teaching here, and I love the schools. I went to Montclair State. I came to Montclair State, and I moved specifically to Montclair for the schools. For the last 13 years, I've been working in Paterson, and I've had to watch, children be disserviced in Paterson due to education reform. And my only solace was that my children didn't have to go through it. So now that it's coming to Montclair, it's very disheartening. What's even more disheartening is the fact that this superintendent was selected without any input from the public. I don't even know how to get her credentials, and I'm very busy. The summer's coming though, so I'm gonna have a lot of time. So I'm gonna fill out, what is it, an Oprah? Or that's an Oprah form, because I wanna see her credentials. I have a list of questions that I asked last night. I'm gonna email all of you those questions. I emailed her them when I got home. She hasn't answered me. She said she would when I left the podium last night, but she has not. I'm gonna email all of you those questions. If you could aid in the, helping me get the answers, I would appreciate it, because I need transparency. I need clarity, because I don't even know if you guys looked at her strategic plan, but it's vague, and I show it to everybody, very educated people, and they have a hard time. The perplexity of it is ridiculous. You find yourself in a fog constantly, every time. Okay, I'm going to leave, but just one more thing. I really think there's a conflict of interest, that there is someone associated with a charter school on the Board of Education, and I think that you need an educator on the Board of Ed. And if you could just find some facts where data narrows the achievement gap, I'd appreciate it, because this Board of Ed is misinformed and unfamiliar with education, but they're telling us we need data. So I need studies to show me that data collection, assessments, narrows achievement gaps. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Good evening, William Scott. I downloaded the agenda for tonight's meeting, June 18th, and item number 7, which is the ordinance amending the Montclair Central Gateway Redevelopment Plan, Phase 1, which was introduced on May the 28th. I'm not sure if it's clear on what that ordinance is defining. My understanding that there's an Eastern Gateway Redevelopment Plan, which to me sounds like two different things, but I think for a clarity standpoint, it's not quite identified correctly.
The Eastern Gateway plan is dealing more with from Pine through up to Montclair Muse, the start of Montclair Muse.
Okay.
But the Lackawanna Plaza one is really from the TD Bank side up to the end of the Pathmark building. So it's really the actual plaza itself. The other one is for the eastern part of
which I appreciate the description, and that is my point. The ordinance that's been identified on tonight's agenda doesn't kind of give me the clarity or the understanding what amendment you're going to be speaking about, unless I come here and, listen into the council conversation. But from a public standpoint, if I wanted to understand what the actual items that are going to be discussed tonight, this is a kind of a very general definition of what's being discussed, and I don't think that the public is being given clear understanding of what that development amendment's going to be.
And remember, this is the amendment, the eastern one is different, but the one for the Lackawanna Plaza is for the planning board to study. There's not really action being taken, it's for the planning board to study the plaza.
Oh, okay, so you're actually saying it's for the Lackawanna Plaza amendment?
Which one?
Item number 7? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so it is definitely not about the eastern.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
The one that is number D, Mr. Scott, under pending ordinances,
yes.
that is the eastern gateway, which is essentially the Shell station and the empty lot next to the
Okay.
Shell station.
Well, okay, you almost clarified it, then you brought the confusion back to the table, to the forefront. Because when I came in tonight and picked up the agenda that was at the front desk, yes, it does indicate that that's the one that you're referring to. But as I mentioned, the online version of tonight's agenda does not give you that clarification.
That's correct. It was the center gateway was on there twice, I think. And what we're doing is we're going to have the hearing for the eastern gateway.
Okay.
We're going to open the hearing tonight for people who may have come to discuss it.
Okay.
And we'll carry it to our next meeting so that people will have an opportunity to give opinions at our next meeting.
Okay, so you're giving the extension base, okay.
Yes.
All right, that's great. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
Good night, everybody. I just want to say also, if I could get an independent...
That's really out of order, Marcel.
I'm
Please.
sorry, because I just want to say, I forgot to say one thing, and I just was scared you wouldn't let me say it, but
Could you give us your name and...
Marcella Simaderis, 15 Mountain View Place, real quick. I also wanted to let you know that I don't feel safe with my son with this woman in leadership, so I would like an independent investigation for what happened at Glenfield, because I don't think the school's lawyers, the district's lawyers are going to handle it well, and I really want to know what happened. If policies needs to be changed or people need to be more clear, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Janet Markman from Caldwell, a photographer, and my husband.
I'm Robert Markman from way over there, Caldwell, New Jersey, and we actually have a gift to give you. You gave us a gift.